So Clay Pigeon, as I said before, a very famous track in karting, where Jenson Button started. And other drivers like Lewis Hamilton back in the 90s here in the British Championships, all raced here. There used to be a big event with the TVS Super Prix here in the early 90s as well. Lots of drivers that have gone on into motorsport, including Mike Conway, who also just won the Le Mans last week with Toyota. So lots of talented drivers that have learnt their craft here around the track at Clay Pigeon. Be interesting to see what strategy is used by these youngsters. If they've watched what's happened in the DRS100, will they go straight out and just try to nail 3 or 4 laps, or will they actually have some nerve and hold their nerve and leave it 4 or 5 minutes? The difficulty then, once the track is live, is basically getting onto the track, knowing that you've got a maximum of 3 or 4 laps to get the best out of your tyres, coupled with the fact that you need to find a space when you join the track that you can then start your flying lap and that you're not going to be impeded. So it's a lot of pressure. Some drivers can do qualifying and really enjoy it and find it quite easy, and other drivers, they think about it too much, maybe make too many mistakes, put too much emphasis on qualifying, but then maybe race a lot better. But I can tell you from racing here for many years, it's very difficult if you're not in the first 2 or 3 rows. It becomes a bit of a train, and you have a lot of traffic in the race. So if you can qualify in the first 4 or 5 positions, that's going to make your Sunday afternoon a lot easier for sure. Quite breezy here today at Clay Pigeon. We're quite high up, and actually we have got a few grey clouds moving in. Seems to have an atmosphere of itself here at Clay Pigeon. It can be gloriously sunny anywhere else, and has a microclimate that suddenly the rain or the cloud can move in. But hopefully with this brisk wind, we won't need any wets today, and the sun will keep shining. So we have just got a couple of minutes to go. This is where the tension starts to build, not only for the drivers, but obviously for the parent or the helper. Have they done up everything tight on the kart? The last thing you want is a mechanical. And even at this level, even though DRS doesn't allow any professional teams, your mum or dad or granddad or helper and the driver, they are their own little team, and takes a lot of preparation before you get to the weekend to prepare the kart. Make sure that you replace the consumables that do wear out over 2.25 hour running over a weekend at a Daniel Ricciardo Series event. So things like the chain and your brake pads, fuel line and filter and throttle cable, all the things that could possibly let you down, you need to replace and make sure that you get the best performance out of your kart. It's really good for the kids to get involved if they're thinking of anything mechanical. Lots of our drivers over the years, when the series was in a former guise, have moved on, and it worked for Red Bull and McLaren, and gone to motorsport college. There's lots of opportunity in karting to progress. As we all know, it's very expensive to progress on and up the ladder to Formula One like Daniel. So, as we move on to the opening laps of this DRS100 qualifying session, it's going to be quite a busy track. Currently 16 drivers on track, and now we can see the drivers that have held their nerve and not come onto the track, and they include Alicia Palmowski, Dylan Briley, Rowan Campbell-Pilling, Oscar Warmty-Jones, Sam Branston, Max Salarski, Freddie Cox, Kai Newman and Riven Welsh. So in these opening laps, Tristan Powell 154 hits the top of the timing sheets with a 36.054. So that is a quick lap time for his first real flying lap in anger. Closely followed by James Kochilek, Brinkholder and Henry Foote. Sam Halley-Hicksman jumps straight up to, no, he's down to fourth already, with Brinkholder popping in a 36.037. And then Henry Foote going straight to the top of the timesheets with a 35.840 on his third lap. So, like the DRS125, it will be interesting to see now if the tyre deg starts to really affect Henry's tyres. Will he improve? Tristan Powell moving up to second on a 35.889, and Sam Halley-Hicksman back up to third with a 35.919. And still no sign of Alicia Palmowski, Dylan Briley or Rowan Campbell-Pilling or Freddie Cox, all sitting patiently in the pits. So then Tristan Powell with a 35.553. That is a quick lap time. That is 0.2 quicker than last year's pole time, which I believe was 35.7. So that is fast. Excellent work from Tristan, who is indeed, as you can tell by his black number plate, a rookie. He's joining us, new driver for this season, as is James Kochilek. And he goes quicker again with a 35.453. Lots of drivers now in the 35s. So without doubt the track is getting quicker. Temperature has dropped off a little bit, which will help. But the biggest problem for these drivers now is the traffic. So it'll be interesting to see when the drivers who are currently sitting on the grid, what they've got to hope is when they enter the track that these guys that are already on the track are thinking, well, you know, I've had the best out of my tyres, I'm going to pit. For sure there will be some. Sam Branston 132 enters the track. There'll be some drivers that will bail out, but of course there'll always be a few drivers that will stick at it, chasing the lap time. But as we've seen, it's highly unlikely that they will improve. So now we see Oscar Walmsley-Jones and Kai Newman enter the track. 128 and 155. But still no sign, as I say that, Alicia Palmowski, number 2, she enters the track. But still no sign of Rowan Campbell-Pilling, championship leader, or Max Salarski, or Freddie Cox. So just over 4 minutes of this session remaining. And it's still Tristan Powell. In fact, Tristan now has pitted, so has James. Kochilek in second place. Tristan doing 6 laps and James doing 8. Brinkhorder in third with a 35.637. So now we have all the runners on the track. And that's Freddie Cox, but he looks like he has a problem. He's come out of the pits very slowly indeed, and it looks like he has a problem with his carburetor. Is it going to clear out? I'm not sure that is going to clear out. So let's see what kind of lap time we will see from Alicia Palmowski. 35.9 on her first lap. And that's bad news for Freddie Cox because he's clearly not going to get a lap in. He's going a bit quicker now, but he clearly has a problem, so he's not going to get a lap time in. So there goes Alicia. She's up to 6th place with a 35.748. But at the moment, there's no one to touch Tristan Powell with a 35.453. James Kochilek with a 35.788. Brinkhorder in 3rd place with a 35.990. 4th place at the moment is, and actually pitted, is Henry Foote with 35.640. Also pitted and currently in 5th place is Sam Halley-Hinksman. Actually dropping to 6th because here comes Max Salarski on his 4th lap with a 35.533. Jumping up to 2nd and knocking James Kochilek down to 3rd. Rowan Campbell-Pilling. Now he's done 4 laps and he can only manage a 35.739. So the championship leader currently down in 8th place and Alicia Palmowski in 9th. And Freddie Cox is obviously now got going, but he clearly hasn't got any pace in that car and clearly has a technical problem. So if I was him, I'd actually come in. Max Salarski, what a lap, 35.420 on his 6th lap. So the traffic has fallen well for him, and Salarski goes straight into pole position. Is anyone anyone got anything left in the tank? We really, if it's going to come from anywhere, it should be coming from Rowan Campbell-Pilling or Alicia Palmowski, or at least you would expect that to be the case. Checkered flag, and he has not improved, Rowan. Is Alicia going to improve? Karts all now taking the checkered. Just waiting for all of the karts to cross the line. And so, subject to technical checks and scrutineering, is pole position for number 135, Max Solarski, on a 35.420. Second position for Tristan Powell on a 35.453. And third from number 150, James Kochulek, on a 35.537. Interesting to note, those are two new rookie drivers, Tristan and James, managing to do second and third place in quali, which is a fantastic achievement. Dylan Briley in fourth on a 35.581. Brinkalder in fifth on a 35.637. And Henry Foote rounding out the top six with a 35.640. So those times are much quicker than yesterday. So without doubt, the circuit is evolving. The lap time is improving. Everybody running new tyres today. So the track condition, track rubbering up. And it'll be interesting to see now what the lap times are in the heat and how quickly the tyre degradation is for the drivers as they do the heat, the pre-final, and then of course the longer race at the end of the day in the grand final. Okay, here goes the final race of today's action, the DRS100. So let's have a look at the grid. It's Max Salarski in pole position with Alicia Palmowski in second position. Dylan Briley in third, Bryn Calder fourth, Charlie Ratford, highest rookie on grid 5, Sherry Ann Powell on grid 6, Henry Foote on grid 7, Sam Halley-Hicksman on 8th, 9th for Rowan Campbell-Pilling, 10th for Jamie Scott, 11th for Daniela Sutton, 12th for Daniel Weir, 13th for Ethan Critchley, 14th for Aaron Menza, 15th for James Kochelek, 16th for Freddie Cox, 17th for Tristan Powell, 18th for Kai Newman, 19th Oscar Walmsley-Jones, 20th Riven Welsh, 21st Ali Hussein, 22nd for Sam Branston, 23rd Max Reed, 24th Tuscany Groves, and Jake Woodrow on grid 25. Are we going to go? We've got a straggler at the back. They're coming under starters' orders. And we are away with Alicia trying to get around the outside. Max going to hold the inside here. Alicia needs to get up the inside, hold it tight, and she's sat now on Max's bumper as the field all enter a busy hairpin one. There's a problem for Sherry Ann Powell. She's touring. She's clearly got a problem. Is she going to peel off or going to try and keep it going? No, that looks like the end of the race. Oh, what a shame for Sherry. Did fantastically well at Houghton Park and Little Rissington. But luck not on her side today. So nice move there from Dylan Briley. Up to third position. He doesn't want to see the first two getting away. With our championship leader, Rowan Campbell-Pilling, currently in 8th place. And we've got a car off there. I just saw car off there into turn 1. Big contact there from Bryn Calder. In fact, it's a red flag. So Bryn obviously committed and didn't see the red flag, whereas Dylan did. So the guys will make their way to the start line. In fact, they've stopped them at the last marshal post by the entry to the pit lane. Obviously, we need to make sure that the guys are okay that are involved in that incident into turn 1. Charlie, did you get it? So we have 2 drivers off. That's looks like Riven Welsh. And I can't quite make out the other number. Looks like they're okay. I think the medic will go and check them out. Is it James Kochelek? Yeah, James Kochelek, who was involved in that earlier incident. Not having much luck today. And the medic is just checking over Riven. He's sat on the tyres, he's looking okay, so probably a bit winded. Not sure what happened or if we have a replay of that.
James must be off because I can't see him there, and I don't know whether I should go there or not. Somebody said somebody's exhaust has flown off. Oh right. I'm hearing apparently something's good. I don't know if that's confirmed or not. No, mate, that exhaust just blew off the car as it pulled up after the red flag. So the red flag is something else. Well, over there, someone's wheel flattened into it. It was number front wheel 79. To samo? Kto tym razem? The orange guys around him. Yeah, is that the one? 79. Is that the one with the exhaust? Waving in his waving his hands in it. His exhaust. Not the exhaust. Something there. He just blew out. He's down there as well. Is that with the spring? Is that with the spring? They just went down into the corner and it's touched. Down there as well. 157. There's two screws. Rivet. Yeah.
Okay, so just precautionary, we're just going to get the give you an update. We've just got the paramedics just checking drivers involved over. Meanwhile, the drivers making their way round and lining up for the restart at the finish line. So we will have a restart just as soon as the paramedic is clear of the circuit and the carts that were involved in that removed. And we'll get underway in a few minutes' time.
No, so I think there was a little mini crash and then someone's exhaust came off as well. There's still a car over there. I don't think it's hit anyone, but it's just back and knocked it off. Sort of hearsay, I guess. Yeah.
I don't think so, no. To be honest, I haven't got a clue. I mean, we're told what's going on.
Right, come on then. You need to find out who does it. It might mean the chance of a race in the final or not. Let's go.
She might be just walking off altogether.
So race director Matt Daniels now checking with the grid marshal to make sure that the grid is correct. Obviously we've got a couple of drivers missing, so that will jumble a few things up. So it's not always clear who's missing from the original start, as this will be a complete restart. Any of the drivers that we lost on the opening lap with a technical issue, if they can get back to the paddock and have the car checked, make any repair and be cleared race worthy, then they may be allowed to restart this race, albeit at the rear of the grid. And 79 Ali Hussein looked like he tried to do that, but clearly he'd lost his exhaust end can, and clearly it's fallen off poor Ali on the way to the grid. So I'm not sure he's going to be able to take any further part in this race. So let's just see how this manifests itself, and we get the grid sorted, ready for this restart. No. On the front row. Playing it cool, concentrating. So hopefully, we apologise for this delay, and hopefully we'll get this race underway in a few minutes. Once we can get everybody sorted and on the grid.
fix it on the grid. It's off. It needs to be fixed in there under the supervision of a scrutineer.
Right, okay, so we know that.
I've got to take charge.
He needs to be off.
Come and get it off.
The repair should have been done under the supervision of a scrutineer.
What's the condition of the
Bring him off. The driver is not continuing under discussion with anyone. It is not happening. Right, let's get the car off. They haven't been out to fix it, so.
If you're ready to restart and it's not done, then
Right, that's it. Go.
157's going to come in. 157's coming.
Right, close the gate, please, Ash.
What? Let him on.
So, apologies, ladies and gentlemen, but obviously a few technical issues and some drivers that have not made it back for the restart, causing a bit of a jumble on the regrid, but I think we're there now. So the DRS100 is what it says, 100cc DRS IME engine. It's a two-stroke, producing around about 24 horsepower. Whole cart complete to purchase, ready to put petrol in, is £3,650 plus your VAT. what else do you need to go racing? Well, you need obviously your suit and helmet, rib protector, a trolley, a lap timer, transponder, and a set of wet tyres on rims. So if you're looking at maybe moving from indoor karting or arrive and drive outdoor karting, if you're doing that at the moment in lots of the different junior clubs, or your local indoor track, this might be for you. And at every round of the Daniel Ricciardo Series, we have a young driver academy where it's possible to try out one of these karts if you've got indoor or arrive and drive experience in karting. It's possible to come and do some coaching and some training in one of our academy sessions without purchasing a kart. And you can see what it is actually like, the big difference between indoor or corporate karting, as we call it, and obviously the high performance of two-stroke. But back to the action, and let's hope it's good action and we don't have any more issues. They're all looking well lined up, good spacing and a good speed. So let's see if we get a start this time around. And we're racing. So Max Solarski holding off Alicia Palmowski through the chicane as they all make their way down to a very crowded turn one. Look to have all navigated that safely and cleanly. And it's a blistering first lap from Max Solarski and Alicia Palmowski, who've managed to put daylight between themselves. And third place, Henry Foote. Great start for Henry. This is a long race, and we're going to see fatigue for sure as Dylan Briley gets up the inside. A little bit of contact there with Henry Foote up the inside, and this is going to continue, and it looks like Rowan Campbell-Pilling, our championship leader, made good momentum there and has picked off Dylan Briley, losing a couple of places there. And Rowan Campbell-Pilling will want to get after Max Solarski and Alicia. Henry Foote looking to go defensive on lap 3, which is not great, and a bit of contact there. And this is going to cause mayhem because now we have 8 or 9 karts close together coming down the main straight. Henry's managed to get a bit of space between himself and Rowan Campbell-Pilling, but I think by the time we get to the hairpin, it is all going to kick off. There goes the move for Campbell-Pilling up the inside. Sam Halley-Hinksman now looking to get away past. Bit of contact there on Freddie Cox. And the queue develops. Meanwhile, back out in front, Max Solarski and Alicia Palmowski look to be cooperating with each other and easing ahead of the field, because it's about to get busy again in the chicane. Sam Halley-Hinksman somehow managed to get through there. And here we go with Dylan Briley into the hairpin. It's very busy now in the midfield here, with a whole gaggle of karts. Down 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th place all together as they come down the main straight. Now then, we're going to see if Rowan Campbell-Pilling has the pace to, certainly has the pace to get away from Sam Halley-Hinksman. But has he got the pace to chase down Alicia Palmowski in second place, who just seems to be sitting there, not losing any too much ground, as Dylan Briley looks to go up the inside at the end of the straight there after Billy's blind, but no, and he's going to put Henry Foote under real pressure, I think, into the hairpin. Henry deciding not to defend this time and actually drove a better line, and has carried a bit of momentum, so that's enough to keep Dylan Briley behind for now. Sam Halley-Hinksman in fourth place, and it looks to me like Henry Foote is starting to overheat his rear tyres. Lots of oversteer there at the end of the straight, round into the chicane, and also here he's going to have a poor exit from the hairpin, and yes, Dylan Briley going for the inside, and now Henry Foote's going to try to hold it. Can Dylan get the switch back? No. And we've got Bryn Calder now on the scene. Meanwhile, we've got Freddie Cox looking to try to get past Jamie Scott. Has he made it? Yes, he has. And Henry Foote still holding his position, in fact, improving on that lap. Again, he's very poor out of the hairpin. I think he has really got a problem with his rear tyres, and he's really compromising himself. But he's every right to try and keep his position. Bryn Calder now looking sharp right on Dylan Briley's bumper. And then if we look back at the front, we've got Max Solarski, and I would say that Alicia just took a little bit, contact there. Contact between Dylan Briley and Bryn Calder. I didn't caught that just as it was coming to its conclusion, and looks like a bit of contact going in, and that's ruined both of their races. So let's have a recap of the order. So we've got Max Solarski in first, Alicia Palmowski in second, Rowan Campbell-Pilling in third, Sam Halley-Hinksman in fourth, Henry Foote in fifth, Freddie Cox in sixth. Jamie Scott now has got his hands full here in sixth place with a right gaggle of cars behind. And that looks like 121 Charlie Ratford, or no, I'm mistaken, it is Aaron Menza who is now turning his attention to Jamie Scott. And I'm sure Henry Foote will breathe a sigh of relief with Bryn Calder and Dylan Briley coming together. And I think that's a problem. But yes, it's a problem for Henry Foote. He looks like, whether that happened with any other contact, he looks like his exhaust is loose. I'm sure he's lost the springs. Oh, poor Henry, 138. So I think we will see the race director issue the black flag with an orange disc, which means mechanical failure. That'll be devastating for his dad, John, because he put so much effort into mechanicking Henry, so that's a real shame. So recap, Alicia just sitting there. Gap hasn't really changed. Is she saving something for the last few laps of this race? Max Salarski in first, Alicia in second. Rowan Campbell-Pilling in third, Sam Halling-Hinksman in fourth, Freddie Cox in fifth, Aaron Menzer in sixth, and Jamie Scott still hanging on. In seventh place, Charlie Ratford in eighth, Ethan Critchley in ninth, and Daniela Sutton in 10th. With just over 3 minutes of this race left. And it looks to me, yes, Charlie Ratford, the British indoor champion from Team Sport that has won a prize this year in DRS. And he has managed to dispose of Jamie Scott and has moved up to 7th place. And Max Salarski now, over the next couple of laps, will for sure start to come across the odd back marker. And I'm sure if he's impeded in any way, Alicia will use that opportunity, if she's got anything left in the tank, to make a move. We're going to be coming up on Tuscany Groves in the car 148, I would have thought, in the next half a lap. And I think Alicia knows, because now she looks to me like she has closed up. And will use any opportunity to have a go. I think they're going to catch Tuscany the next time, probably at the end of the in the hairpin on the next lap. Rowan Campbell-Pilling, some great moves from him in the opening, got himself up to 3rd place, but that's going to be the maximum that he can do. Same for Sam Halling-Hinksman and Freddie Cox and Aaron Menzer. If they can just keep it lit, keep it smooth, concentration, they should bring it home in their current positions. Charlie Ratford definitely pulling away, and Dylan Briley not really recovering. A little bit further down the field, we've got a whole gaggle of our rookie drivers with Kai Newman and Max Reed, who lost the chain in the previous heat after going slightly wide. And James Kochelek, who's not had a fantastic day at all, after such a fantastic qualifying for him and Tristan Powell, 154 just behind him. But they should take great pride and use the experience, because they clearly had the pace in qualifying. Rest of the day hasn't gone as planned for them. So, as predicted, now it looks like Salarski might have a problem with his front panel. It looks like he's broken one of the brackets, and this is a Okay, everybody, so let's get the trophies awarded for today's racing. DRS62. Our top rookie today was Oscar Walsh. Well done, Oscar. In third place, number 108, Ewan Scott. Well done, Ewan. Oh. And in second place today is number 4, Jack Robinson. Well done, Jack. And in the end, he made it look very easy, no mistakes. Number 121. And a fantastic recovery after an issue yesterday. In second place, number 314, Cody Eustace. And in first place, number 283, Sam Faulkner. Well done, Sam. Well done to the DRS125 drivers. You can smile, guys. Well done. Thank you, guys. And to the DRS100, the top rookie today is number 121, Charlie Ratford. Well done, Charlie. Coming through from Team Sport and racing in DRS this year for the first time. In third place, number 9, Sam Halley-Hinksman. And in second place, number 108, Rowan Campbell-Pilling. Well done, Rowan. And your winner today is number 2, Alicia Palmowski. Well done, Alicia. Smile for the camera. Well done to all the DRS100 drivers. I know things didn't go the way for a lot of people today. The main thing, everybody's okay. Some people had some very bad luck and some fantastic performances from some of our rookie drivers. So every dog has his day, and we will see you all at round 4 at Wilton Mill. Thank you very much.
I know, you have to go through like 20 things, don't you?
Well done.